evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Sur Club wins His Majesty the Sultan's Cup for football after defeating Fanja Club in the final match. With the participation of around 500 doctors, medical assistants, legal officials and judges, the first medical responsibility seminar starts in Muscat. And Oman Lawyers Association launches the 6th edition of Fak Korba initiative. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. Sur Club won His Majesty's the Sultan Cup for football after defeating Fanja Club 2-1 in the final match. The final took place at the Sultan Qaboos Sports Complex in Boucher under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Mohammed bin Hamad al-Rumhi, Minister of Oil and Gas. At the end of the match, the chief guest handed over the cup of His Majesty the Sultan to the champion Sur Club and silver medals to Fanja Club, who achieved the second place. He also honored the referees of the match. Upon royal directives of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Sultanate continued carrying out a number of relief aid flights to the Islamic Republic of Iran, following severe weather conditions there through a number of aircraft affiliated to the Royal Air Force of Oman in coordination with Oman charitable organizations. The flights took off from Al Musanna Air Base carrying foodstuff and vital medical supplies in cooperation with the Oman charitable organizations. These trips are part of the humanitarian assistance provided by the Sultanate to brotherly and friendly countries in emergencies. With the participation of around 500 doctors, medical assistants, legal officers, and judges, the first medical responsibility seminar started its works at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center. The two-day seminar aims to spread legal awareness among medicine practitioners and community members. The opening ceremony was held under the auspices of Sheikh Dr. Ishaq bin Ahmed al-Busaidi, Chairman of the Supreme Court and Chairman of the Board of Administrative Affairs Council for Judiciary. Oman Lawyers Association launched the 6th edition of Fak Korba program initiative. The initiative, which continues till June 10th, aims to help those who have been imprisoned because of their financial problems. The initiative witnessed an interaction from the members of the community, institutions, companies, and charity organizations, which contributed in the success of the initiative to enhance the culture of harmony and synergy in the society. It's worth mentioning that Fak Korba, or Release of Anguish, is a social initiative founded by Lawyers Association, which raise funds in order to pay the debts of the insolvents who are imprisoned on commercial, civil, labor, or Sharia cases. The launching ceremony was held under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Ali Al-Qatabi, the state's advisor. Still to come on News Bulletin. Beit Az-Zubair hosts Al-Bagh exhibition for some Omani female fine artists. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. A Sudanese army official said today that the new government will be run by civilians. Colonel General Omar Zain al-Abidin made the remarks at a press conference in the capital, Khartoum. Abidin said that they are not going to intervene, just give them the government list and they will agree upon it and welcome it. but he added that the Interior and Defense Ministers would be chosen by the Military Council. The statement came a day after the Sudanese military overthrew longtime President Omar al-Bashir. The army arrested al-Bashir, imposed a state of emergency that included a nighttime curfew, suspended the constitution, and closed the country's borders. The Dalai Lama said that he feels normal, almost normal, after leaving a New Delhi hospital where he was treated for a chest infection. The 83-year-old Tibetan spiritual leader spoke after he was discharged today. He had been hospitalized on Tuesday after leaving Dharamsala to consult with doctors in the capital. He is likely to return this week to the North Indian hill town that he has been his headquarters since he left Tibet in 1959. The Dalai Lama usually spends several months a year traveling the world to teach Buddhism and highlight the Tibetan struggle for greater freedom in China, but he has cut down on travel in the past year as he is to take care of his health. Suspected militants abducted 2 Cuban doctors in an ambush that killed a police bodyguard in northern Kenya near the Somali border. It was the second abduction of a foreigner in 5 months, likely carried out by Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab extremist group, which is based in Somalia. A police spokesman said today in Nairobi that the gunman may have taken the doctors into Somalia. He said the doctor's driver had been detained to help with investigations. The gunman's vehicle blocked the doctor's vehicle as they headed to work. A police officer was shot and fatally wounded. At least 100 Cuban doctors have been brought in Kenya in an exchange program that saw about 50 Kenyans travel to Cuba for specialized training last year. Back to some more local news. Halaniyat Islands, which is a part of the Wilaya of Shalim, and Halaniyat Islands are witnessing the implementation of a number of projects that aim to serve citizens over there. The engineering services of the Ministry of Defense, in cooperation with Air Force of Oman, Royal Navy of Oman, and other public and private sectors, are continuing works for the establishment of landing strip for transport aircrafts. The project will be a qualitative step in terms of providing transport services in the area, especially for the transport of aids and for evacuation operations during emergency cases. The projects also included a port and internal roads. College of Banking and Financial Studies celebrated the graduation of a new batch of its students. The number of graduates was 350 in various financial majors. The graduation ceremony included a number of activities and the distribution of certificates to the graduates and excelled students. The students expressed their happiness and pride for graduation after the hard work and efforts they exerted during the years of study, and stressed that they are ready for the next stage of their life, which is to head towards the labor market, get a job, and serve their country. Beit Az-Zubair hosted Al-Bagh exhibition for some Omani female fine artists. It displayed 24 portraits inspired by a novel titled Al-Bagh by the Omani writer Bushra Khalfan. The novel reflected the values of solidarity and brotherhood among Omani people. The participating fine artists embodied in their works their interpretation of some themes in the novel. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over most of the governorates, with chances of moderate clouds over the northern governorates and scattered rainfall over Musandam governorate. Low clouds and fog late at night and early morning are expected over the coast of the governorate of South Sharqiya and Al-Wusta. Winds will be south to southwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. Sur Club wins His Majesty the Sultan's Cup for football after defeating Fanja Club in the final match. With the participation of around 500 doctors, medical assistants, legal officials and judges, the first medical responsibility seminar starts in Muscat. And Oman Lawyers Association launches the 6th edition of Fat Korba initiative. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, thank you for watching and have a great night.